Henry Cavill is out as Superman from DCEU, and if I were him, I might want to stick it to James Gunn in DC and come back as one of the greatest superheroes that Marvel has ever seen. Here are some roles I think he would be perfect for in the MCU. So Cavill didn't know is British, and no better way to honor that than by playing Captain Britain. So Brian Braddock received his powers actually courtesy of Merlin from Arthurian legends, and it bestows him a superhuman strength, stamina, durability, and more. While it's great to have those powers, the further he moves away from the UK, the weaker he gets. He can compensate for this with power-amplifying costumes. I can see this leading to some interesting story moments. They probably have to tweak that backstory a bit though. Cavill's been fan cast as a character for years. He actually commented that he would be interested in playing him. To date, we don't have any main characters that are British in the MCU, or at least playing British characters. Sticking with British-themed heroes, next up would be Union Jack. This name has been passed around between a few characters, but the end result, in most cases, ends up being a descendant of the Falsworth family who served their country. Union Jack doesn't have any special powers other than being a highly trained combatant specializing in espionage. Think of someone like Black Widow, but with a British flair. If you want to stick with someone a bit more like Superman, how about Hyperion of the Squadron Supreme? There's been a few versions of him over the years, but always centers around him being the last survivor of a race, having something to do with the Eternals, and he's raised on Earth with a strong moral code. Probably sounds a bit familiar. He possesses all the usual abilities you'd expect, such as flight, super strength, durability, and so on. Perhaps he's too powerful for the current MCU slate. That can always be adjusted. Let's call it what it is here. It's a Superman ripoff in the MCU. Sentry is yet another of the endless list of failed attempts to replicate the original Super Soldier program. How about Canada's Department K tried to make someone even more powerful, and they succeeded, but the cost of creating an equally powerful evil version called the Void. So once Sentry realized what had happened, he teamed up with Reed Richards and Doctor Strange to make the world forget he existed, which depowered Void as he fed off Sentry's existence. So rumors have actually been circulating for some time. The coming Thunderbolts movie will see them go up against Sentry, so this might give them some time to give Cavill a call. The X-Men are on their way. We still don't know the exact date. While some fans have called for Cavill to try to hand out Wolverine, I think he'd actually be a lot better at Cyclops. While the previous X-Men movies did wonders for making you forget how tall Hugh Jackman is, Henry Cavill's is so imposing, and Cavill should be able to easily carry off that air of a leader that Cyclops needs. The biggest stumbling block here might be his age, but depends on the makeup and sort of, I guess, the other age of the X-Men when they eventually come to the MCU. Wrapping things up, just in case Cavill wants to go for a more evil role, how about Dr. Doom? While his armor does a lot of the talking for the character, he should also be kind of larger than life. He rules his country with an iron fist, yes literally, and strikes fear into the hearts of many of Marvel's heroes. As of right now, Cavill is attached to serve as an executive producer and star in a Warhammer 40,000 series for Amazon Prime. More than likely, they'll probably limit his availability. Now, he may not even be able to take outside roles, but always nice to have a dream of where he could fit when he eventually comes to the MCU.